Now you're welcome, Max. So it has been a busy weekend on many fronts. It's always good to acknowledge people doing it on the international stage. And to that end, we have Stephanie Meadow with us. She's playing on the LPGA Tour. She finished third at the weekend at the Pelican Women's Championship in Florida. Stephanie, come on in. Hello, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Very nice, very nice. Third place finish. That is very impressive. That's your best finish by some distance this year. You shot a 69, a very nice 65, and then a 68 and a 69 Sunday. Third place finish against the very best in the world. Take a bow. Thank you very much. That's good. That must feel nice.
Yeah, no, it was great. I just played really solid golf all week, and you know, to be in the final group on the weekend, both days, and it's a good experience, learning curve, and I kind of, you know, fought my way back. I was 2 over after 2 on the last day there, so it was nice to kind of know that I can bring it back and get that third place finish.
Yes, we were following because I saw you were right in contention on the Sunday, and I saw a drop 2 shots after 2 holes and thought, this can go one of 2 ways. So how do you regather yourself to some kind of extent ahead of the third hole?
Yeah, well, it's kind of weird because the first hole isn't that hard, and I just 3-putted from absolutely nowhere. And then the second hole is actually a really tough hole, so I didn't feel so bad about that bogey. So kind of just kept saying to myself, okay, you've made one mistake. There's 16 holes left. You know, most of the time you make a couple bogeys, I'll just make them at the front and then and make birdies coming in, and that's kind of what I did.
Yeah, I mean, it must feel good. What do you put it down to? I mean, playing really well all week, as you said, very solid. And, you know, you've had, 34th was a good finish for you. You finished 39th at the Women's British Open. There, you know, there have been some good finishes in there. This is a bit of a leap. So any particular reason?
Yeah. I definitely think my putter, I went back to a putter that I used to use in university, and whatever it is about it, the specs fit me perfectly, and I just have so much more confidence with it. And I put it back in the bag in Georgia about 3 weeks ago at our last tournament, and could kind of see the life coming back into my putting. And, you know, and that makes a difference out here. You start rolling a few putts, everything kind of builds momentum from there. And I'm just hoping that I can keep kind of my foot to the grind here and keep going for the rest of the year.
Yeah, well, there's a US Open on the horizon as well in December. So that's, you know, something at the back of your mind. It's nuts how often any player goes back to their old putter from 20 years ago, beaten up in the corner of the shed, and they just find a little feeling with it.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I mean, there's a reason why I putted with it for so long, and I just kind of find it, and I was like, oh, I'll just, you know, I had like 3 different putters in 3 weeks and just couldn't find anything, and then went to the garage there, and there it was, and that was it. So thankfully I find it, and I've actually got a backup of it now just in case something happens to that one. So yeah, I'm good to go, I think.
It's hard to know what it is, isn't it? Is there just some kind of residual muscle memory that you've put in the hours with it and feels familiar, right? Who knows? Who knows what it is? Golf is the most messed up game.
Agreed.
So, I mean, what does this mean for you? And geez, I don't want to pry or anything, but I mean, suddenly you see it's a nice check, you know, compared to the average working person in the street. That's a nice week's work. What does it,
definitely.
And I know, like, your status isn't at risk in this COVID year. Nobody's is on tour, so that isn't a worry. But just in terms of, okay, there's the financial aspect. There's your, you know, fill up for your own confidence. What does something like this week do for you at this point in your career, Stephanie?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest goal all year was to make it into the Tour Championship at the end of the year. So that's top 60 on the CME points list. So now I think I'm like 35th on that, so I'm good to go there. So it's nice to kind of achieve that goal. And, you know, like you said, it doesn't make any difference for status, but, you know, it's a huge confidence boost and kind of something I can take into next year. You know, I've been pretty consistent. I've only missed 2 cuts. You know, I've been finishing around T30, T40, but, you know, that's kind of what you have to do out here and then gradually build on it. So, like you said, it's a nice financial check, release some pressure, and yeah, no, it's good.
It really is. So, Si Young Kim was the winner. She's, I think, ranked number 2 in the world at the moment, is winning lots of tournaments. Maybe it's her 12th this year, and she's won a major as well. Seeing somebody like that going about their business at the business end of a tournament, interesting?
Yeah, definitely. You know, she's so consistent. It's unbelievable. Like every time she hits one like 5 yards offline, I'm like, wow, she hit that terrible. um, so, you know, but it's good to watch the best in the world. You know, short game is fantastic
Right.
and her composure is really good. So I learned a lot. And I think I learned a lot about myself as well. You know, I was really calm and just kind of felt at home, you know. Okay, there wasn't huge crowds or anything because there's no fans, but there was some members out, and I just didn't feel super nervous or anything like
Right.
that. So it's just nice to know that I can do it and be in that environment. And you know, I played with Allie McDonald as well, who won in Georgia a few weeks ago, and I've known her since college, so it was actually a pretty comfortable group for me.
Great. We spoke to you, I think it might have been in studio, and I know you've been on Golf Weekly once or twice as well since, and you were making the point that obviously from a psychological point of view you can approach pressure and approach the game in all manner of ways. You can get fired up and feed off it, or you can pretend you're out for just a casual Sunday stroll. I remember you saying at the time you were realising that maybe a little bit of fire isn't so bad for you. So did you channel the buzz of being in contention, or did you try and because you mentioned you stayed calm there, but I do remember you saying you liked a bit of fire as well.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mixture. Like I felt myself kind of get a little too excited or a little too nervous, like for one hole, and then I'd be like, okay, like calm down a little bit, but change the direction of the fire, I guess. Like there's a difference between anxiety, nervousness, or worried about messing up, as opposed to like using that kind of stress to go get it and think about that. And you know, for example, the last 4 holes, you know, I was always behind Allie in second place by probably 3-4 shots, and then all of a sudden, you know, I tied her on, or I was one back on, no, I tied her on 17, and then made a bogey on 18, and she made birdie. But you know, it was kind of my whole mindset was chasing. Like I was chasing that second place. I wasn't worried about holding on to the third. I was trying to chase that, and I think that really helped.
It must be far more enjoyable playing golf in contention with pressure, with adrenaline, than, you know, am I going to finish 51st or 50th?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Bit more pep in your step as you walk down the fairway when you're in contention. And, you know, that's what we live for. You know, in golf, you don't get to win very often. Even the best in the world don't. So anytime you have a chance, I think that's what we thrive on. And, you know, I wasn't going to let it go away. I mean, I made those first 2 bogeys on Saturday or on Sunday, and I just said to myself, it's like, I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not going to just let this slip through my fingers. And I didn't.
Stephanie, we're not doing this.
Pretty much.
And so in terms of your practice, we spoke to you at length. It was really interesting conversation. Even Peter Lowry was on with us on Golf Weekly saying he took a lot from it. And you were at a point where hitting a gazillion balls in the driving range was something you were moving away from, and actually just practicing by playing and feeling and executing the type of shots that you have to execute on a golf course as opposed to a perfectly flat driving range was something you were moving towards. Has that been the story of 2020? I don't even know what practice is like in the bubble and under COVID.
Yeah, no, same story. You know, I've been playing, you know, at home when it's an off week. I've been on the golf course a lot more, you know, doing a little bit of work on the driving range, but not a ton. And same thing when I get to the golf course, you know, it's all about learning the course conditions. And, you know, this week was a completely new course. So there was a lot to learn and keep up with. So, you know, time is best spent out there for me. You know, it seems to be working, so I'll stick to it.
Are there certain types of courses that you're finding are suiting your game? Are you seeing a bit of a pattern?
Gosh. Yeah, I mean, well, this week actually was kind of on the longer side, I'd say, a little bit. On a few holes, and I played really well, and I feel like normally I play better on the shorter golf courses, but I don't know. I think when you play good golf, like it doesn't matter what golf course you're on, you know, you're going to play well. And I think that's kind of a good mindset to have as well. But, you know, this week the greens were really fast or not so fast, but really smooth. And I know I really like that. And they're Bermuda, so there's a little bit of green in it. But, you know, I lived in South Carolina for so long that I'm very comfortable with the green and reading that. So maybe more so than other players, I might have been more comfortable reading my putts this week. So that might have helped.
How is tournament life in a bubble? Are you pretty much confined to a hotel room at this stage? Is it relaxed in any way?
Yeah, we rented an Airbnb this week, so that's where I am right now. And Kyle here, my fiance's here, the dog is here, and then we stayed with a friend who's a physio on tour. So it's just, that's kind of our life right now. We stay here, we cook in, take the dog for a walk, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So it's definitely different, but I don't see it changing anytime soon. So it's become kind of a new normal, and we're figuring out how to socialize and have a life outside of golf with the bubble, which is not easy, but we're trying.
I guess it beats hotel life, though.
It does, yeah, 100%. I don't think I couldn't just pick up food every night. That's what some girls are doing, just carry out, and I just couldn't do that. I need to have a kitchen and a sofa and just a place to hang out if you're not going to be able to go anywhere. So, and when you're sharing, it's nice too.
Yeah, of course. What are you watching on Netflix to kill the hours at this stage?
Oh gosh, I caught up on Grey's Anatomy and The Good Doctor this week.
Jeez.
That was my two. Yeah.
Okay.
That was my two this week. Yeah.
Medical gore, tick, good. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they just started, so it's like season premiere, and I had forgotten about it, so I watched a few of those. But honestly, I didn't watch a whole lot of Netflix this week. We were busy cooking and taking care of the dog, and so it was kind of nice.
Good. Did you get to see much of the Masters the other week, or were you out playing?
Yeah, no, I saw quite a bit of it. We actually flew down here on Saturday, so we were able to watch the whole day on Sunday, which was really nice because normally we're typically in Hawaii when it's happening, and we're busy trying to get ready. So it was nice to actually sit on the couch and be able to take it in. But I mean, very different looking spectator, from TV. It's just different when there's no crowds there. So hopefully in April or soon we can go back.
Yes, that would be good. Oh, I think we've lost you. You gone, Stephanie? Gone, unfortunately. Oh, I think you might be back.
Oh, I'm back.
You're back. Sorry. Yes, great.
Yeah.
Dustin Johnson was pretty awesome, you would have to say. I mean, nobody was catching him.
No. Yeah, he looked pretty invincible. It was very impressive. Yeah, I mean, I know the course played a little different than it does normally, but still to shoot those kind of scores at Augusta, no matter what time of year, it's very impressive.
So for you then, next couple of weeks, you're busy with tournaments. I mean, the LPGA have done a really good job. Are you at the US Open? You're involved in that?
Unfortunately, they closed the field last week, and I was 30-second reserve. So I don't think 30-second reserve is going to make it in.
Even in a pandemic, it probably won't make it in.
Yeah, probably not. Unfortunately, if they had closed it, maybe today I would have been higher up because they were finishing the field based on Rolex ranking.
Right.
So obviously I would have moved up there, but it is what it is. But I played myself. I actually wasn't in Texas, not this week, but the next week. I was third reserve. And but this Florida top 10 got me in automatically to Texas, so that's nice. So I don't have to sit around and worry about whether I'm in or not. And then obviously I'll have the week off during US Open, and then we head straight to the Tour Championship in Naples, Florida, and then we're done for the year.
Okay, great. And so you'll make Tour Championship at this stage, I presume, then?
Yeah. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm good.
Okay. Excellent. Well, listen, congrats. Third, really good finish. Keep it going. We'll then check in maybe sometime at the end of the season when it's all done. When you win Tour Championship, come back and talk to us for a couple of minutes. That'd be good.
That would be amazing.
Stephanie Meadow, thanks a million.